M.AIRAH has been clearly around for now more than 100 years. And as part of that, we had a number of celebrations planned. One of that was to actually open a time capsule that was put down in 1995. Now, for some of you, hopefully most of you were born in 1995, but just to reflect back on what was happening in 1995, Paul Keating was the Prime Minister from the Labor Party. The Premier here was Jeff Kennett. The Premier in New South Wales was Bob Carr. The President of the United States was Bill Clinton, and the Prime Minister of the United Kingdom was John Major. And if anyone can remember all of them, you're doing pretty well for a start. Sport-wise, Carlton won the grand final by beating Geelong, and the Sydney Bulldogs, who were once the Canterbury Bulldogs, who changed their name to play in the Super League, won the Premier over Manly Warringah in New South Wales. The price of petrol was 69 cents. And a little bit more, when I looked this up, a bit more surprising, the price of 1 litre of milk was $1. I think 2 litres of milk can be $1 these days, and the price of a loaf of bread was $1. I'm not sure what's happening to the farmers on that one. So anyway, I'd like to ask the then President, John Shewan, to please come to the stage. John. John was the president, Victorian president, I think from 1990 to 1992, the national president from 1995 and 96, and he was there present when the time capsule was put into the ground. Is that correct, John?
Correct.
And have you changed much since that day?
No, it's John.
That's right. I looked at you and said, not a day has he changed. Now, one thing John doesn't know about this, John was the national president, and over the last period of time, we've been reflecting on the people who've been important to M.AIRAH over that last 100 years. And we did notice there was one award that John probably should have been awarded, but wasn't, and that was a Fellow of M.AIRAH. I'm going to ask Ian Harwood, our current president, to award John your Fellowship of M.AIRAH. Yes, please.
So as you all know, Fellow is a status that M.AIRAH awards to somebody who has performed an outstanding service. An outstanding service can be by way of acting on a local committee, acting as past national president, or volunteering efforts. And clearly John falls into that category, and hereby congratulate John and award him a Fellow of M.AIRAH.
I'll give it to you. Oh.
Thank you.
No, we're right for now. So the next step, can I ask Brendan Pekovic to actually bring the time capsule. Now, we had a bit of a problem with the time capsule. It wasn't meant to, I think, ever to be opened. So after we've lost 3 good people in opening it, hopefully they'll be back soon. But if you're willing, John, to put your hand in there and drag out... do you know the curse of Tutankhamun? The first three people to go into there, they all died within a very short period of time, but we won't say that. So, John, we won't spend too much time, but if you can have a go at pulling some of the things out there, and please be careful. Hope you've had your tinea shot. Here we go. That's pretty easy, isn't it?
Yeah, it was easy to open too. We did that. We got this out.
It's got the life story of Stephen Jensen in there too. Don't you worry. I know I believe there's a few other things.
Yeah, obviously they had a bit of fun when they.
No, but if you have a look at them, I believe the actual tops are still there, so they've just totally disintegrated. Now, have you got that knife there? That's right. That's only asbestos. It's fine. I hope it's not some bills we haven't paid. Could be just over the top.
Actually, we're getting down to the decent, I think.
It's the meat tray.
The meat tray. It's freeze dry. I was told there'd be a bottle of Grange in there. Gosh, yeah. It's unpaid bills. No.
Oh, that's concerning.
Got a letter there. I'm sure that's from Rodriguez.
Okay, here we go. We have a letter. It said, those M.AIRAH members opening this capsule. It's dated April 1995. Good day to you. From the year of 1995, we wish you all well. The writer, Rod Eakins, is a Victorian committee member of M.AIRAH and is the instigator having this time capsule buried at this time. The year 1995 is a very busy one for us in Victoria. The 75th anniversary coincides with the National Exhibition and Conference held at the World Congress Centre in Melbourne. No opening or exhuming date has been set, just the time in the future. I wonder if I will be alive and kicking or well and truly buried a bit deeper than this capsule. I wonder how many of today's companies are still in existence. Is Barron's fiberglass still in Seaford? Anyone? Obviously not. When the idea was first suggested, many people offered to donate and put considerable items of interest to the future generation. But at this time of lowering into the whole approach, not so much has come forward. Do you still have problems of getting full involvement of members? One of the M.AIRAH's aim in 1995 is to elevate the status of the association. This has been attacked by several members of education courses and external promotion. I trust M.AIRAH has a high standing and that this box is open well. So all to you, the best in the year of ... Rod Eakins. So rather interesting. I think we do have a little bit more recognition in our education space in there. Actually, I asked a few people earlier today, how many companies are still around from 1995? And no matter what, the answer is there's much less today. How many we don't know, but it does seem to be the answer of there's less people. Now, have we found anything we can make money on? No?
For privacy concerns, I've actually got a printed members list from which is a bit confusing, but lovely typewriter print. I can, if you want to come up later and have a look, but that is the full M.AIRAH members list from 1995. I say there's, of course, they don't have totals at the end or page numbers, but
so we won't go into too much detail, but before we'll leave it up here. Please come and have a look. We're here tomorrow. If you want to put something in there to make it look old, please. Oh, $2 million. What was a headline? $2 million bounty.
This is the Herald Sun. And something about a galah, but I can't remember who he was now.
Actually, go to the back of it. Might be interesting. I just saw something on the back of it.
Oh, did you?
No, the other one. Oh, well, actually, here we go. If you live in Melbourne, there's always, this heading could have been put in today. Can you just flip it up there, the back of it? Key pie out, right? And if you go, and it must be timely, the other one I just saw too. Demons boost. Melbourne's the first time they won 9 games in a row since 1964. So it was very timely. And of course, one thing that doesn't exist anymore, I think, is the fact that it says the Herald. It's now the Herald Sun because the Sun, because they got rid of the Herald and put it together in that time. So we won't, there's lots of interesting stuff. Please have a look. We'll be here tomorrow.
From 1920 to today, celebrating 100 years of the Australian Institute of Refrigeration, Air Conditioning and Heating, the hidden industry we can't live without. Our opportunity to cut back emissions and reduce global warming, shaping the future of our cities and neighbourhoods. Join us in remembering the past and looking with excitement to what lies ahead. and to shaping the future of heating, ventilation, air conditioning, and refrigeration.